global fortune-telling industry, moves more than $2 billion a year. Millionaire psychics live in mansions while desperate clients lose their entire savings on false promises. Psychic caught using Google and social media to fake powers. Maidana earned 300,000 reais a month. A love-binding spell costs up to 50,000 reais and never works. The dark and lucrative side of spiritual exploitation will make you furious. This is the portal of the unknown, where we expose million-dollar frauds that exploit human vulnerability. If you want to know how psychics get rich deceiving desperate people, subscribe to the channel now. Turn on the notification bell and leave your like, because this video will reveal the empire of divination. Share this to save someone from becoming a victim. Let's destroy this industry of lies. Let's go straight to the shocking numbers. In the United States, the psychic services industry moves $2.2 billion annually, according to Ibis World. There are more than 85,000 registered businesses employing 120,000 people. In Brazil, the esoteric market earns an estimated 3 billion reais per year, and that's only what is declared. The black market for spiritual work is several times larger. Maidana from Santo Amaro, who died in 2014, was the most famous psychic in Brazil. She earned about 300,000 reais monthly, according to reports. She served celebrities, politicians, and business people. She charged up to 5,000 reais per consultation. When she died, she left a fortune worth tens of millions. She built an empire on cold reading, generalizations, and empty promises. Documented case: a client paid 20,000 reais for a love-binding ritual. Maidana promised the man would return in 3 months. He didn't. The client came back demanding answers. Maidana said additional work was needed, another 15,000. The client paid. The man stayed away. Third consultation, another 10,000 to break his spiritual resistance. Total 45,000 reais thrown away. The relationship never came back, but Maidana profited. The tactics are always the same. First, diagnose a serious spiritual problem. You have a curse on you. I see strong dark energy. Someone close to you is jealous. This scares the client, creating dependency. Second, promise a solution through specific work. I need to do a deep spiritual cleansing, special herbal baths, offerings. High prices because the case is severe. Third, when it doesn't work, blame the client or external interference. You didn't follow the instructions correctly. Someone is doing stronger work against you. You need another, more powerful ritual. Always another job, always more money. An endless cycle of exploitation. The client has already invested so much that they fall into the sunk cost fallacy. I've spent so much I can't stop now, or I'll lose everything. Love-binding spells, also called love ties, are the most profitable scam. The promise: to make a specific person fall in love and become emotionally trapped. Prices range from 1,000 to 50,000 reais, depending on the complexity of the case. Obviously, it never works because free will exists and magic doesn't. Yet millions are spent annually by people desperate for unrequited love. A real example investigated by police in São Paulo. A psychic charged 30,000 for a guaranteed love-binding ritual. The rituals included special imported candles, rare herbs from Morocco, and midnight cemetery offerings. All fake. The candles were bought at the market for 10 reais. Herbs came from the local fair. Offerings thrown in the trash. Net profit 29,500 per client. The psychic had a 3-month waiting list. She performed 40 rituals per month, earned over $1 million monthly. How do they get clients? Heavy marketing. Micro-targeted ads on social media. Facebook and Instagram allow behavioral targeting. People who follow self-help, relationship, or depression pages. Ads promise to solve specific problems. Your love left you? I'll bring them back in 7 days. Lost your job? I'll open your professional paths. Fake testimonials are fabricated. I was unemployed for 5 years, did a ritual with Father so-and-so, got my dream job in 2 weeks. Photos of happy people, emotional stories, all invented. Or worse, real testimonials from people who achieved success through effort or coincidence, but attributed to the ritual. Confirmation bias creates free propaganda. Big TV psychics are branding masters. Walter Mercado, the Puerto Rican astrologer who died in 2019, built an empire. TV programs in 20 countries, best-selling books, a line of esoteric products, perfumes, mystical jewelry. Fortune estimated at $50 million. He made predictions so vague they applied to any sign. Aries, week of important changes, avoid conflict. It worked for everyone. Miss Cleo, the Jamaican psychic from late-night commercials in the 1990s and 2000s in the U.S., is a classic fraud case. Call me now, she shouted in ads promising to reveal the future by phone. Charged $4.99 per minute. Calls lasted an average of 20 minutes. $100 per client. Sued in 2002 for deceptive practices. Her company made $1.7 billion before collapsing under lawsuits. She wasn't even Jamaican. She was from Los Angeles with a fake accent. Psychic hotlines are $1 billion business. The Psychic Friends Network in the 90s made $125 million annually. Operators read scripts, had no abilities. Training focused on cold reading and keeping clients on the line as long as possible. The longer the call, the higher the profit. Strategy: ask open questions so the client gives information, then reflect it back as a psychic revelation. I see a man in your life, initial J or M. He caused you pain? Client: yes, my ex-João cheated. Psychic: I sense that betrayal. I see you suffer deeply. He had commitment issues since childhood, unresolved issues with his mother figure. The client confirms: everyone has family issues. 20 minutes pass. $100 earned through cheap psychology. Leaked internal documents reveal scripts. One psychic call center memo said, if the client mentions love issues, say you see interference from a third party. Always works because everyone suspects rivals. If they mention money, say there are energy blockages that need cleansing. Offer an additional service off the line for a fixed fee. Uri Geller, famous for bending spoons with his mind, admitted to using magic tricks but still claims real powers. James Randi publicly exposed him multiple times. Geller sued Randi and lost. But he continued a lucrative career, became a corporate consultant, wrote books, made millions. Even exposed, people kept believing. A recent Brazilian case, a famous psychic in São Paulo, investigated by Fantástico in 2020. Undercover reporters found her assistants searched Google and client social media before sessions. The psychic received information through an earpiece during readings. I see you recently lost your mother. The client cried, shocked. The info was on her public Facebook. Complete fraud. The sealed envelope trick is classic. The psychic asked the client to write a question on paper, seal it in an envelope, and not show it. The psychic reads it psychically and answers. The trick: the envelope has a hidden opening, is switched for a duplicate, or the psychic uses the one ahead method, answering the previous question while secretly reading the next. Magicians have done this for centuries. It's not psychic power, it's sleight of hand. Regulation is practically non-existent. In the US, psychics operate as entertainment, avoiding legal responsibility. In Brazil, there's no effective oversight. Anyone can open a spiritual consultation office, charge whatever they want, and promise anything. Victims rarely sue out of shame or admitting they were deceived. When lawsuits happen, the defense is always, I offered a spiritual service. I can't guarantee results. It depends on the client's faith. Legally, it's hard to prove fraud because the promises are spiritual, not material. It's like suing a church because a prayer wasn't answered. Technically, the service was rendered, the ritual was done. The result just isn't guaranteed. The typical victim profile: women aged 30 to 50, going through emotional crises, breakup, mourning, unemployment, lower to middle class. Studies show psychologically vulnerable people are preferred targets. Psychics are emotional predators. They can smell despair. Pressure tactic: it's urgent. The ritual must be done before the new moon or it won't work. There are people waiting, but I'll make an exception. Creates false urgency to stop rational thinking. The client decides emotionally, not logically. Later regrets it, but the money is gone. Gradual brainwashing. The first session is cheap, 50 reais, just to get to know my work. The psychic gains trust with general cold reading, hitting some broad truths. Second session reveals a serious problem that needs a 200 reel ritual. Third, the problem is deeper, needs 1,000 reel ritual. Prices escalate progressively. The client has already invested emotionally in the relationship with the psychic, making it harder to admit they're being scammed. Celebrities endorsing psychics give false credibility. If that famous person trusts them, it must be real. Influencer marketing applied to mysticism. The psychic pays a celebrity for a sponsored post, or gives a free session so the celebrity posts voluntarily. Result: thousands of the celebrity's followers become clients. Return on investment is astronomical. Product lines are another profit multiplier. The psychic sells consultations, but also energized soaps, special candles, blessed amulets, ready-made herbal baths, programmed crystals. Production cost, cents. Sale price, tens or hundreds of reais. Profit margin of 1,000%. Regular soap bought wholesale, energized with a 1-minute prayer, resold for 50 reais. Courses and training programs are gold mines. Learn to develop your psychic gifts in a 3-month course for just 3,000 reais. The promise that anyone can be a psychic. The content: the same cold reading techniques available for free on YouTube, but packaged with mystical language and a fancy certificate. Students leave thinking they have a gift, open their own businesses, and perpetuate the fraud cycle. Psychic franchises exist. Chains and shopping malls with corporate branding. Standardized decor, uniforms, fixed prices. Operators hired with base salary plus commission. Trained in sales and cold reading techniques. Profit goes to the franchise owner, not the psychic, who is just an employee reading a script. Industrialized spirituality. The divination industry is a billion-dollar empire built on exploiting human vulnerability. Millionaire psychics live in luxury while victims lose their savings on empty promises. The fraud is systemic, regulation non-existent, profits obscene. If this video opens your eyes to this predatory industry, share it urgently. Save someone from being the next victim. Leave your like, subscribe, and activate the bell, because here on Portal of the Unknown, we expose frauds that destroy lives. Comment: have you or someone you know been a victim? Tell your story. Until the next unmasking.